but the street was one way, Elway. But this season, the tables turned. The final seconds of comeback drama were his. By the narrowest of margins, Schottenheimer kicked his Denver Demons. It's up. It's right up. It is good. Oh, my. For Schottenheimer, was that win an omen? Can Marty's team finally steal the big headlines? Or is his longtime nemesis ready to torment one more time? Marty Schottenheimer once again faces the challenge of Denver's John Elway. It's the AFC Divisional playoffs matching the NFL's #1 offense, Denver Broncos, against the league's #1 scoring defense, the Kansas City Chiefs. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wild Kansas City for this divisional playoff battle. The Denver Broncos, under Mike Shanahan, have shown the league they can score lots of points.
Well, they can, especially early. The 15 scripted plays of Mike Shanahan have enabled the Denver Broncos offense to always get off to a good start. That's what concerns the Kansas City coaches. They have faced Mike Shanahan 6 times. They say those scripted plays have been different in formations and strategies all 6 times. They don't know what to expect. They hope they can just weather the storm early.
Well, we'll soon learn what surprises Shanahan has for Kansas City. How about the Chiefs? Do they have anything ready offensively?
Well, you know, the thing about Denver, they're not going to change their defense. They're going to stop the run and force Kansas City to pass. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs made no secret about it. They told us, number 89, Andre Rison, has to make big plays. And I'm not talking about 1 or 2 big plays, Dick. He has to make several plays in order for Kansas City to win this game.
Well, he's produced in his first year in Kansas City. Their leading receiver, Andre Rison, with 72 catches on the year. The weather has improved. The winner knows. They go on to the Final Four.
I'm a numbers guy. Don't give me words. Give me a number. One day, John invites me to help test the new Rogaine. I hated losing my hair. I said yes. They tell me this new Rogaine Extra Strength for men is more concentrated. It gets more to the root to grow more hair. Don't give me the more. Give me the number. Yeah, I am seeing hair, but give me the number. They give us the number. 45% more hair than with original Rogaine. 45% more hair with the new Rogaine. I say, give me the Rogaine.
We're back at Erickson Stadium where we're down in the final seconds of the game, and it's still tied. The kick's high.
Ericsson mobile phones. Catch the excitement.
It's a great time for American sports, and America's symbol, the bald eagle, here in Kansas City. Who will land successfully in the AFC Finals? For a report, down to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Dick. I'm now joined by Marty Schottenheimer. Marty, Rich Gannon won 5 of 6. You've elected to go with Elvis Grbac today. How long will you stay with Elvis should he falter?
Elvis is our quarterback for the duration as far as I'm concerned. We won 7 with Elvis. He's our captain. We've got the best situation in the world. Our starter and a guy in Gannon who's proved he can win.
How concerned are you, Marty, about the quick start to the Denver Broncos?
Well, it's something you have to deal with. It's very real.
Thanks for your time. Good luck, Marty. All right, let's send it back upstairs to you, Dick.
Marty Schottenheimer, a man of change this year, and we'll get into that. In fact, even in this playoff game, as you look at Elvis Grbac, part of that change, he's using his punter, Louis Aguiar, as his kickoff man. Stoyanovich not getting the ball deep enough. Vaughn Hebron on the goal line, awaits for Denver. In front of 78,000, we're underway. The winner plays Pittsburgh next Sunday. Hebron to the 22-yard line, the 23. John Elway, the winningest quarterback in NFL history, but only 4-10 at Arrowhead. It's been a tough part for him. Here's his offensive line, includes Pro Bowler at center Tom Nalen going to the Pro Bowl for the first time. Zimmerman, Schlereth, Habib, and Jones. Terrell Davis, second leading rusher in the NFL for the second straight year. Griffith, the blocker. Rod Smith and Ed McCaffrey outside. Shannon Sharp, the tight end, 72 catches, led the team. Sharp on the right side. Elway comes out throwing. Complete. It's Sharp, and he is to the 31-yard line, hit by Anthony Davis. Nearly 10 on the play. Here are the Kansas City Chiefs. Front three of Booker, Big Joe Phillips. Dan Williams has had a sensational year, the former Bronco, 10.5 sacks. Derrick Thomas to 9 straight Super Bowls. Simmons, the former Packer. Edwards and Davis are very fast. Carter and Hasty, both corners go to Honolulu. Reggie Tung and Jerome Woods, two hard-hitting safeties in their second year. First down, Elway at the 34. Nearly sacked, and then throws it over the head of Shannon Sharp and takes a hit in the process. A flag is down. Late hit or intentionally grounding. It's a personal foul against the Chiefs.
Something the Kansas City Chiefs
very foul, roughing the passer, number 92 defense, 15 yards.
Dan Williams. You said Jerry Markbright, in your experience with this veteran referee, he protects the quarterback.
That's it, Dick. You're right. He does protect the quarterback. You're not allowed to push to hit the quarterback after he throws the football. The Chiefs do this. They expected to get a couple of roughing the passer penalties today.
Not much of a push from Williams, but was unnecessary. So a big penalty sends Denver out to the 49-yard line. One play, one penalty worth 26 yards. Terrell Davis, his first call, and nothing there. You saw 21, Jerome Woods, fly up from safety to help out on the tackle. Williams was there along with Derrick Thomas.
Well, the Denver offense today, the game plan for them last time they played 6 weeks ago, John Elway was sacked 6 times on 7-step drops. Today we've already seen quick drops and trying to get the ball to Shannon Sharp down the field.
Defensive coordinator for Kansas City, Gunther Cunningham. He says we usually react to Denver's razzle-dazzle. Today, we attack.
Gunther Cunningham, many talking about him as a possible head coach. In fact, Phil Simms, you feel he has the qualities to lead a club.
Well, I think he has a unique ability, Dick, where he works his players really hard, treats them hard, but they still like him, and I think that's a unique quality in a coach.
Let's go down to Jim Gray.
All right, Mark Schlereth was just sent off by Jerry Markbright to be wiped off. He had some type of a sticky substance on him. Now he's checking back into the game. They're checking him out, and the referee will now allow him to stay. But they're wiping some of the substance off a number of the Denver Broncos, and now Gary Zimmerman is being attended to over on the sideline. There must be something on their shoulders, Dick.
Yeah, it's not a sticky substance. They don't want things to stick to the uniforms. It's a slippery substance, so
a silicone spray.
I would think something like that, and the Kansas City Chiefs probably said something to Jerry Markbright. He saw it, probably felt it, making these players get it wiped off.
And there is no penalty involved here. This is an official's timeout. They take timeout, let all those guys go over and get wiped off. It's almost like a plane being de-iced. Let's go over the time, clean these guys up a little bit. Well, let's get on with it.
Maybe they were out early and picked up some of that morning ice. So second down and 10. Deafening roar here at Arrowhead. Quick hit to Howard Griffith, the fullback, who gets the call rarely. In fact, in 16 games, carried only 9 times. Wayne Simmons made the tackle.
You know, you're talking about the deafening sound. Watch the offensive line on the left of the screen. Watch them. They don't all get off at the same time. There's like 4 or 5 different times that they get off. All 5 guys are going off at a different time. This is what Elway does not want to happen. If they can just get average on the battle, they got it won.
Ed McCaffrey, downfield blocking, limps off. It's 3rd and 6. Elway shotgun. Oops, false start. Habib And that's going to be a problem. Always is in Kansas City. The fans know they play a role. Very difficult for those offensive tackles.
It's even louder here than I remember from a couple weeks ago when we came.
Number 75, offense. Prior to the snap, 5-yard penalty, third down.
But what happens, John Elway told us yesterday, watch the Denver offensive line, it moves. Brian Habib, the right guard. If you let the offensive line stay up there too long, since they can't hear, they get anxious, they will move. That's what happened that time.
It's hard for a fan to fathom, but the offensive tackles cannot hear at all. They do not hear. In fact, the fullback or the running back, Davis, says he doesn't either. He just has to go by the snap of the ball. Elway. Downfield to Sharp, and he steals it at the 30. Took it away from Jerome Woods, and then did he fumble? No. The ruling is being discussed now by the officials. Ball down by contact. First down, Denver at the 30.
Boy, did he push off of Woods. I'm going to tell you, Sharp, this is perfect, and gets away with it. Shannon Sharp pushes off Jerome Woods just before the catch. You see Shannon Sharp coming down. Jerome Woods is going to pick him up. But watch at the end of this play. Watch his right arm as the ball comes in. He pushes him back, catches the ball.
22 yards on the play.
Well, they wanted to get the ball down the field to Shannon Sharp. We've seen that twice already today. But the big key to that play, the blitz pickup of the Denver Broncos offense.
Boy, tough ball, whether or not he had contact when he hit the ground or had control. First down at the 30, Davis. Hit before he can get to the line of scrimmage. As Joe Phillips, the veteran from SMU, with Anthony Davis and those safeties plugging any hole.
Well, Kansas City defense, Paul, we talked about it already in the game. You just try to hang in there against the Denver offense early. They give you so many different looks. Denver's main objective today, they wanted to try to throw the ball to Shannon Sharp. They can't get it to him when they play here because of the noise and how aggressive the defense is against him. It looks like they got a good plan.
Second and 10. McCaffrey all right, back in the game. Davis trying to get outside. Fumbled the ball. And able to recover at the 31-yard line, a loss of a yard. So they have stymied Terrell Davis. 3 carries. He's yet to gain.
Well, just take a look at where Terrell Davis is trying to run. You're trying to run from tackle to tackle, and the Kansas City Chiefs are all upfield. They are just pushing the offensive line back into the backfield. There's absolutely no place for Terrell Davis to run.
They're attacking. They usually sit back and watch this Denver offense, trying to worry about what could happen. You can already see Paul in the backfield, attack it. That's why they're stopping the run so far.
Terrell Davis in Denver with a good bounce. No fumbles lost, but close there. Recovered his own. Blitz. Elway fires. Almost intercepted. Willie Green, the target. Mark McMillan, who picked off 8 passes this year. The Mighty Mouse defensive back almost had one early today.
Well, Marty Schottenheimer says Mark McMillan, number 29, has that quality. He just knows how to get his hands on the ball. That time he's watching the quarterback the whole way. That's the reason why he makes a good break and almost intercepts the pass.
McMillan only 5'7" and less than 150 pounds. So from the 32, Mike Shanahan brings out the punter, Tom Ruin. Tamarek Vanover is only some 20 yards away at the 10. Ruin very high, but it has a lot of distance. Too much for Denver. That one almost to the back line of the end zone. So not much gain there. A 12-yard punt. Kansas City with the ball when we come back.
Hey, buddy. I'll trade you my scarf for that last Bud Light. Come on. But the hat? That's fair. What more could you possibly want, huh? Oh. You got a raw deal.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
I never said it was the last one.
Make it a Bud Light.
A lot of industry experts told us that the passenger side was the best place to add a third door. We got still more advice insisting that the driver's side was the only logical choice. But as you can see, we let it all go right in one ear and out the other. Introducing the new Dodge Ram Quad Cab. The rules have changed.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. By IBM, solutions for a small planet. By UPS, the official package delivery company of the NFL. And by American Express. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, American Express helps you do more.
Back in icy Kansas City, Elvis Gerbach starting for the first time in the playoffs. The former backup in San Francisco missed 6 games with a broken collarbone. Returned final game of the year. Lake Dawson in motion. A handoff to Greg Hill, who gains 2 into the arms of Alan Aldridge. And the lineups for Kansas City as Will Shields goes to the Pro Bowl again. Many felt Tim Grunner, the center, earned that right as well. Elvis Gerbach with Greg Hill. We'll see a lot of Marcus Allen. Obviously, Kimball Anders, the fullback, goes to Honolulu. Andre Rison, quite a year for him, and he has produced 72 catches, 7 touchdowns. And the tight end, Ted Popson, out 3 games with a concussion at mid-year, has been very productive as well. Another former San Francisco player. And it is that combination, Gerbach to Popson, a gain of 3 to the 25. John Mobley made the stop. It's 3rd and 5. Defensively, Denver with Neil Smith, the former Kansas City Chief, going to the Pro Bowl, the only on the defensive side of the ball for the Broncos. Traylor, Tonavusa, and Williams, the other down linemen. Mobley, Aldridge, Romanowski. He's made some headlines this year. Crockett and Gordon at the corners. Atwater and Braxton, the safeties. Neil Smith makes the move to Denver. Really interesting with several Denver players here in Kansas City. Who will go on? Gerbach breaks out of a tackle, and the second hit gets him at the 21. Alfred Williams, who a year ago had 13 sacks, 8.5 this year.
Well, Elvis Gerbach making his first start in the playoffs. It's been a while. It's a blitz by the Denver Broncos. You worry about that first hit? Well, he doesn't have to worry anymore. He takes one in the pocket. Steve Atwater on the blitz, forces him up. Defensive line there to make the tackle.
So 3 and out for the Chiefs on 4th and 9. Aguiar to punt to Darian Gordon, who returned 3 for touchdowns this year. He stands at the 36 in Denver territory. A wobbly kick. Gordon lets it bounce. Great bounce for Kansas City. A mistake by Gordon. Let that ball bounce all the way to the 16-yard line. A 63-yard kick by Aguiar.
Dodge Ram gives you the most powerful overall line of pickup engines on the planet, including 2 even more powerful V8s, the most powerful diesel, and the only V10. You'll be glad to know we also worked on this, making it easy to answer the oft-asked question, wow, what have you got under there? Dodge Ram. The rules have changed.
Francesco Lafabula has just created the little black dress that will change everything. The magazines have created a frenzy, and you have sworn that your stores will be the first to carry it. Enter UPS. Customs gets cleared electronically. The global network kicks in. Also that at the same time, on the same day, the dresses arrive from Europe to each of your stores nationwide. Success is a beautiful thing.
Nice dress.
UPS, moving at the speed of business.
Trust. We are not born with an instinct to trust. Trust must be earned. Trust must be proven. We earn it with integrity. We prove it with sound advice. Trust is the ultimate measure of our success. And at Dean Witter, we measure success one investor at a time.
Time flies, you know. Every week a game, and boom, playoffs. 2 teams play a game. 1 game you out. You wait till next year. So who do you think gonna get it this year? That wonderful trophy?
The network of the Super Bowl. You're watching the NFL on NBC.
Welcome
Welcome back. The noise of Arrowhead. John Elway battling that in a very tough defense. We saw Neil O'Donnell in the Jets-Detroit game actually ask the referee to stop play, that he couldn't hear the signals. Why doesn't Elway do that?
Well, Dick, I don't think he's thought about that situation where he could do it here. And also, he's playing here for so many years. I think he's just got it ingrained in himself that he can deal with the crowd noise and play with it and execute under these conditions.
Trying to find Rod Smith. James Hasty on the coverage. It's 2nd and 10. Well, Elway and the Broncos won the opening game of the season against Kansas City, 19-3.
Well, the quarterback, his worst enemy is tip balls. That one just tipped by Edwards, the linebacker. And usually when those balls get tipped in the middle, it could mean interception. So John Elway right there, a little lucky.
Unable to run the football thus far. The only positive yards from the unlikely Howard Griffith, the fullback. Davis again. Smothered at the 16-yard line. Kansas City's defense, as the season developed, they became tougher and tougher. On the road were good, 17.8 points allowed, but 8 touchdowns. At home, where they were unbeaten, 11 points average and no rushing touchdowns.
And you can just tell by looking at this defense the way they're lining up, Phil. They're going to shut down the run. That's the #1 thing that they're going to do, and force Elway to throw if he can.
Not many teams can shut down this Denver rushing attack, but so far, Paul, Denver has done that. Kansas City has done that.
3rd and 11 for Elway. Throws complete out to the 35 to Willie Green. Green, who made some big catches in that game at mid-season here in Kansas City in the final minutes when Denver thought they'd pulled out a comeback win.
Well, Willie Green against Mark McMillan. Dick, you said 5'7", size plays an advantage that time. He goes up, shields off Mark McMillan. Watch, Mark McMillan's there. He wants to come around and make the play, but the size of Willie Green stops him from doing that.
And he does have the size advantage over a half foot. He is 6'4". First down at the 35. The toss to Terrell Davis, wearing a flak jacket, and he's able to duck under the pressure defensively and spins out to the 44, a 9-yard gain.
What a block by Detron Smith, number 42, the fullback coming out, or the running back. They just call him running back, but watch number 42. Look at this block on Woods. Just outstanding. That opened up the hole. 9-yard gain.
Ball at the 44, 2nd down and a long one. First positive run for Davis, who had 1,750 yards on the season. Davis again bowling his way, gets a little help from the backside on the block as he moves out to a first down at the 46-yard line. Jerome Woods and others on the tackle. The Broncos running game a week ago against Jacksonville. A stunning 310-yard performance, 6.3 yards, 2 men rushing for more than 100 yards. Terrell Davis and Derrick Lovell.
And the best thing about it all, the offensive line named Player of the Week.
Elway, guns complete to McCaffrey. He's in Kansas City territory, and 3 Chiefs drag him down. Progress to the 45. It'll be 2nd and 1.
You know, you just mentioned about this offensive line and being named Player of the Week. That's all these guys. It's only happened one other time in professional football.
Eddie McCaffrey, number 87, on the outside. Sneaky receiver, good move, fakes long, comes underneath, and our man Eddie, he knows how to draw a crowd of defenders once he catches the ball. This time he avoids the big hit.
Yeah, he does. He'll take about 3 or 4 big ones in the course of the ball game.
McCaffrey, a solid season, 45 catches, 8 touchdowns. Oh, forward motion. That'll be a flag on that, I would believe. Terrell Davis to the 45 and no flag down. The up back was definitely moving before the snap, moving forward. That was Detron Smith.
Yeah, your eyes did not deceive you. He definitely moved forward before the ball was snapped. Watch as he comes across, and watch the snap of the ball. Couple good little itty-bitty steps forward, and not called.
No first down, 3rd and 1. Texas A&M. Terrell Davis flagged down this time as Davis close to a first down at the 44 of Kansas City.
It's offside on the defense. This will be a first down for Denver. Elway said something to us yesterday that was very interesting. Dale Carter is an excellent corner. He said
offside, number 99 defense lined up in the neutral zone, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Lon Booker, number 99.
Lon Booker lined up across the line of scrimmage.
All right, but he said to us, we're going to attack Dale Carter. I would like to on the backside.
Well, he's going to attack him, but he's going to sneak attack him. He's not going to just turn and go after him. What he wants to do, John Elway would like to look to one side, away from Dale Carter. Dale Carter likes to look at the quarterback. That way he might lull himself, fall off the receiver, and John Elway wants to turn around and then throw deep.
Ron Hebron in the backfield now for Terrell Davis. First down at the 40. The pump, the throw down the middle, open was tight end Dwayne Carswell, but Elway a little too tall with the throw. Let's go down to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you, Dick. Howard Griffith, the starting running back for the Denver Broncos, is out of the game right now. He has a shoulder stinger. He will return. And Terrell Davis missed that last play. The reason he missed it, he had a helmet problem. Dick?
All right, Jim. We're in the first quarter here in Kansas City. 3 minutes, 33 seconds left in the period. No score.
Elway is getting terrific protection. With this offensive line, he has time to throw to the second and third receivers.
Second possession, second trip into Kansas City territory. And Elway has to call time. He had Smith in motion, and McCaffrey looked as if he wanted to go as well. So a mix-up, timeout Denver.
Honda presents Great Drives. In Week 2, Minnesota trailed Chicago late in the fourth. Stay tuned to see how Brad Johnson and the Vikings stole a black and blue division classic.
Mood for love simply because you're near me.
The new Accord V6 Coupe from Honda. What'll it do to you?
Chris Carter's clutch fourth down catch kept a 61-yard march alive and set up Chris Walsh's last-minute heroics.
Touchdown, Vikings! Walsh puts him ahead at the late stages of the game. He comes through.
Some of us know it will be all right, even when bad things happen, because we have someone to help see us through it.
Darn thing came out of nowhere. I just missed it.
I know. What do we do? I mean, should we just leave?
They'll be fine. Now, keep your eyes peeled. Where there's one, there's usually more.
Being in good hands is the only place to be.
NBC tonight. Come on, spit it out. It's big stars and big bloopers. All-Star TV Central Bloopers 7, 6 Central, NBC tonight.
1 million passengers' lives hang in the balance. Can one man save them? Eric Stoltz.
We're the only hope.
Blackout Effect, NBC tonight.
Watch Dwayne Carswell, number 89, against Reggie Tung. The defensive back, he's going to go up the seam. Makes a little move outside, comes underneath the defender. Elway overthrows it. You only get so many chances for big plays in a game. That was one of them for Denver, but they did not take advantage of.
Second and 10 for Elway. The handoff inside to Howard Griffith. He gets his second carry and a couple of yards on the play.
You know, the last time these two teams played, John Elway, after he missed that throw, he knew it. They had it set up. The safety was down the middle. He had a chance for a big play, maybe a chance for a score. But that's what stops them from scoring touchdowns. They get those chances like that, the throw where the guys can catch and run. And somehow, when they play here, Denver seems to miss those throws.
Elway goes for the shotgun. 10th play of the drive as Denver is dominated. Possession time here in the opening quarter. 10 minutes to a minute 40. But no score. Elway fires long. Has a man. Incomplete to Willie Green, who completes
make the call. He went down on one knee. Green is going down the sidelines. Number 29 is McMillan. He's on him. You judge. Now, is that illegal, Chuck? But here's where he was calling for holding right after the Chuck.
Well, trying to take advantage of Mark McMillan. He likes to be aggressive on the first move, so you give him a double move, you try to go deep, but again, Paul, great protection by the Denver Broncos offensive line.
Ruin's first punt 32, but only 12 net as he kicked it into the end zone. Trying to keep it away from Vanover. That's a touch by the Broncos. It'll be down at the 10-yard line. That's where Kansas City begins. A 27-yard punt with 2.5 minutes left in the opening quarter. No score.
Jerry, there's too much clutter. You let me know when you've changed.
Change? I should change. I'm starting with the change.
Everybody marks, everybody wins.
Keep the change.
May I help you? Just trying it out.
Perfect. Dear Christy, I've changed.
One stamp, please. I know I got it.
Oh.
So you don't want a book of stamps?
Clutter.
One stamp.
Even at the post office, you can do more with the American Express card. My lucky card.
Oh, a rainbow.
The bound it worked!
Christy, run!
More change, Jerry?
Yeah, pretty much.
Nick, there is still one missile left. You must get to it before the others do.
It's a 200 horsepower engine, too audacious to be kept secret. It's advanced climate control, engineered to keep you cool, no matter what kind of pressure you're under.
Son's birthday.
It's the TL from Acura. The true definition of luxury. Yours.
Back in Kansas City with a reminder, go online to msnbcsports.com. Take a look at what the Chiefs and Broncos have to say about this rivalry. And after today's game, we'll look ahead to next week's conference championships with the keys to victory for each team. It's all at msnbcsports.com. Green Bay and San Francisco for the NFC title, and the winner of this game against Pittsburgh for the AFC. There's the evidence of Denver's possession time advantage, but no points produced. Elvis Gerbach changing his play as Lake Dawson resetting. Still time. And throws to Andre Rison, who staggers out of bounds with the catch, shy of the 15, a gain of about 4.
Well, that was an excellent job by Elvis Gerbach. Denver was coming with an all-out blitz in the middle. He was in trouble. He knew it. Took his time, look at the play clock, gives his team some positive yards with a good play.
Yeah, Lake Dawson was in motion, almost ran off the field.
Yeah.
He had to stop him and bring him back.
Well, Dawson was questionable midweek. He ran into Marcus Allen, bruised a knee, and he had to convince Marty before the game today, working out, that he was ready to go. Former Notre Dame star. Well, it appeared to be contact, and then Alfred Williams charges across the line of scrimmage.
Tanabasa came across, looked like he had contact with the center.
Now they're talking this over. Did he make contact? Because we remember one thing now, Tanabasa, if he goes down the line of scrimmage, he can come back.
But if he's across the line of scrimmage, making the other
foul, number 94, defense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
They call it on Keith Traylor.
Well, number 98 is Tanabasa right here. Now he goes across. Williams goes across. Traylor didn't do anything.
No, it was on. He just got the numbers mixed up inside.
I like the way Grunner said, hey, just hold there. You get back on your side. We haven't snapped it yet.
I think he was flinching. He was trying to protect himself a little.
2nd and 1 for Kansas City, looking for its initial first down of the game. And Marcus Allen drilled in the backfield on his first carry of the game. Keith Traylor, who played here in Kansas City. He's the young man who lost his mother just 2 days ago, and battling for his team with very heavy emotions.
Keith Traylor, number 94, coming down the line of scrimmage, making the hit in the backfield. And Marty Schottenheimer yesterday when he was talking to us, he made a case in point. He says, hey, that number 94 is playing some really good football.
Well, he's also made a point, too, that he wanted to keep Traylor and he wanted to keep Neil Smith. He wanted to keep all the guys he lost. He just couldn't afford. Yeah, I know. He couldn't afford to
keep them all.
A loss on the play. It's third down and a long two. Easy pass to Rison, and Rison pushed out of bounds with the first down. Darian Gordon, the defender.
Well, this is what you got to do against Denver's defense. They crowd everybody up around the line of scrimmage. Your wide receivers are going to be singled up quite often. This time, Andre Rison, coverage is off. Good call by the Kansas City offense and good execution.
You know, I was talking, you know, about Spider-Man. Here he is.
Yeah.
You know, this deal, but he has to make big plays, not 1, 2, or 3. That was a big play. That was a third down and long. He had to make the play. Once they get him one-on-one on the outside, that's all they really want.
Spider-Man, his preferred nickname. You see his number, 72 catches, and earned his way to the Pro Bowl. And a whistle before the snap. Alfred Williams and Jeff Criswell with a little chicken fighting there, a little bumping.
First down.
Can I ask you a question? Where was Steve Atwater going? I never saw a guy get that deep.
Let's talk about Marty Schottenheimer, who yesterday said, yeah, I've given myself a nickname through the years here. Roadblock. I was Roadblock. I wanted to do everything. I wanted to make sure that every possibility was covered when an assistant coach came to me. He's changed this year.
Well, he has changed. He says, I'm letting my coaches coach more. They're making decisions on how we're going to go, the game plans, how we're going to execute certain things, and his coaches have responded and done a good job for him.
Could be the last play of the period. A quick pass complete to the tight end, Ted Popson. John Mobley covering just shy of the first down, and that is the end of the first quarter here at Arrowhead Stadium. Well, low scoring. Pittsburgh, New England yesterday, no score today. You're watching the playoffs on NBC.
Hey, kid.
Yeah?
Get the Super Bowl stuff to San Diego on time, and don't mess it up.
I'm on top of it. I'm on top of the world, down on creation and
Oh, my God!
Need official Super Bowl merchandise? Go to Superbowl.com.
No.
An IBM e-business.
You can only survive on what you find in the forest. We'll meet in 5 days here. And good luck.
The Honda CR-V has its own picnic table, waterproof storage compartment, and 2 power outlets. For those times when you have to rough it.
I love nature.
It is a test, not just of strength, but of the power of the mind. And if you complete the journey, you will be changed forever. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Tuesday, it's an all-new Frasier with a trip back to yesteryear and a young Frasier and Niles.
Specifically requested my macaroni and cheese al dente.
This lunch is a culinary Hindenburg.
Then on Just Shoot Me, Jack teaches the art of getting the upper hand.
Can you teach me more? Can you help me down?
All new NBC Tuesday.
Back in Kansas City 2 years ago, the Chiefs were 13-3, and then last year down to 9-7. Marty said, I just didn't want players around that said, I got it, coach, don't have to tell me anything, I know it all. And he's made some very distinct changes this year in his philosophy and in his personnel changes. Play action by Gerbach. Throws to Kimball Anders, who has always been a big receiver in this offense, had 59 catches this year.
Well, Dick, you were talking about, look at all the new starters they have on offense. He wants players. The big thing why Marty Schottenheimer's made so many changes on offense and defense, he wants players eager to learn, come in every day, tell me more, coach, enthusiastic. And also, he's changed his philosophy on both sides of the ball because he knows if you want to have success in the playoffs, he needed to change, be a little more dynamic on each side, make more plays, and progress in the playoffs.
Flag down as Gerbach just throws it away. He was out of the pocket. You saw the changes there. 11 new starters out of 22 for Kansas City. Even in this era of free agency and a lot of player movement, that's an incredible change. He's gone to youth and speed on defense.
Illegal contact foul, number 53, defense. While the quarterback was in the pocket, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Bill Romanowski against tight end Tony Gonzales.
Well, Marty Schottenheimer says Bill Romanowski has every move in the book. His hands on the receiver, Tony Gonzales, down the field, 10 and 15 yards. They're going to see that every single time. Call the penalty. But going back for one last point about Marty Schottenheimer, you know, talking about all those changes. I'll have to tell you after this play.
All right, here it comes. Second down and 1. And Marcus prances through for a first down to the 40. Marcus Allen, Heisman winner at Southern California, the oldest running back ever in the NFL. 222 games for Allen. No one's ever played more games. And when it comes to first down rushes, he led the league this year. He's their bread and butter on 3rd and 4th and short. Another first down for him at the 40. Check that, 2nd and 5. First down.
The thing that makes Marcus Allen so special is when he runs he makes a 5-yard gain like this was here. Looks spectacular. You know the reason why? Watch the moves that he makes. He sees the entire field. Marcus Allen goes out. Now he knows he's got to go back to his right. Now, when he makes that move, in his lean, gets him the first down.
That wasn't short yardage. He needed 5. 11 yards on 3 carries for Allen. Over 12,000 yards rushing in his brilliant career, nearly 600 catches. Play action to Allen. Gerbach has to eat it as Neil Smith, the former chief, here's that famous home run swing. A mild boo of protest from the Kansas City fans. They love Neil Smith, and a Chiefs player is down. It's Jeff Criswell.
Well, he was trying to get this ball to Andre Rison on the outside, and it looked like he ran this pattern just a little bit too deep, and Gerbach didn't have time. He also has Kimball Andrews out to the outside. Neil Smith just keeps right on coming, sacks Gerbach.
Glenn Parker says that's the big SWAT move. He kind of moves you, takes his arms, tries to throw you. That time it works, but what caused that sack, Ray Crockett covering Andre Rison on the outside.
The loss back to the Kansas City 39. When we come back, it'll be 2nd and 18 for the Chiefs.
I know a place.
It's a great tradition, the family reunion. And if your family lives in another state, so what? We're Americans. We pioneered, we frontiered. So go see your kin. Bring them a hand. And do it in a car so carefully crafted it's moved for life. Goes up to 100,000 miles before its first scheduled tune-up. And the only complaint you'll have is that it didn't come out sooner. The car you knew America could build. The Chevy Malibu.
I'll take you there.
Do I like to shop? Oh, yes. How you doing? Franks and beans? Aisle 5. Beans and Franks? Aisle 7.
Hi. Hi.
Fat free. Nothing but carb. Check this out.
You're our 1 millionth shopper.
Even at the supermarket, you can do more with the American Express card. I love this card.
How fast do I really have to be going before I get a ticket?
The law's the law.
What is it, 5, 10 miles over?
Oh. Deli-style Lay's. Ooh. Well, it's a guessing game out there, Mike. Here, let me show you something.
72?
Yep.
Let me see that.
90. Hey, you're fast.
Put crunch in your lunch. New Lay's Deli style.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Genuine Chevrolet, the cars more Americans trust. By Lay's, make your lunch special with Lay's. And by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the reminder, the three most important words are, hey, beer man.
Broncos and Chiefs battling to face the Steelers next week. Steve Wallace replaces the injured Jeff Criswell at half. And the give straight ahead to Kimball Landers. Mobley and Aldridge, the backers for Denver, make the tackle. Jim?
All right, thank you, Dick. Well, the trainers have taken Jeff Criswell back into the locker room. He has a right shoulder injury. They will examine him right now. He is questionable to return. He'll be x-rayed. When we have further results, we'll let you know. Dick?
All right, Jim, just now Criswell making his way down the steps into the Kansas City locker room for x-rays. Gerbach, 5 for 5, but only 24 yards throwing, and he's been sacked twice. 3rd and 12. Blitz. Gerbach, quick throw, complete, but short of the first down at the Denver 46. First invasion of the Bronco half of the field by Kansas City. Rison's 3rd catch.
Well, when you have 3rd and long in this league nowadays, what the defense is going to do, watch up top. You're going to see all the blitzers come. Now the receiver has to run a short route. The defender comes up, sees the catch, makes the tackle. Offense has to punt.
Louis Aguiar, who set a playoff record for Kansas City on his last punt, 63 yards. Officially now 62. Darian Gordon, dangerous at the 10 for Denver. Very high. Gordon, late fair catch signal, lets it go. And it's in the end zone, batted back. But I believe Bucky Brooks had a foot down in the end zone when he knocked it back.
I thought it was good, Dick. I thought he jumped before he hit the end zone line, knocked it back into play.
That's how it's seen by the officials.
Well, here it comes, and you've got 2 officials, Dick, one on each side. The ball is in the air. Brooks is on the line, Dick.
Should be a touchback.
You are absolutely right. Hey, great eyes. Watch, his right foot is on the line.
So when we come back, Denver and Elway, first down and 98.
Hey, guys.
Need a smile? Call Domino's.
Yeah.
A Domino's pizza does the trick. Thin crust, hand-tossed, or deep dish. Made with all your favorite toppings. But we deliver more than great pizza. At Domino's, we're delivering 1 million smiles a day.
I understand you got a bug problem.
Daddy! I want you to meet my friends. Dad, phone call. Who's the iOS?
Sir, is this your son?
Is this your dog?
Your life is full of worries. Your car shouldn't be. Get a Chevy Lumina. It's reliable, comfortable, and it's one less thing to worry about.
Sir, is this your house?
Heck, Lumina can even save you $1,000.
Sir?
Now you can save $100 on professional installation and get $50 of programming certificates. So what are you waiting for? Go to your retailer today.
Watch the right foot here first, but also look to the right of the screen. You see that? Look at the official. We're looking at it at an angle from here. He's looking right down the line at it.
First down, Elway with a noise. And out to the 5 to 6 goes Howard Griffith. An unlikely ball carrier in this first half, but I guess they're keying so much on Terrell Davis that Denver's decided to give Griffith the ball.
Well, it's a nice little changeup, Dick. What it does, it catches the defense by surprise.
James Hasty slow getting up. Well, Criswell already into the locker room x-rayed for an arm or shoulder. And now Hasty making his first Pro Bowl in his 10th year. This wily veteran cornerback from Washington State.
James Hasty, number 40. He's filling in the hole as Griffith comes up. Hasty. He came up limping, but it looks like he might have just hit somebody with his leg. Second down, 7. Davis breaks some tackles, fights his way out to the 11. Looks to be just shy of a first down. Anthony Davis, the young linebacker from Utah, made the stop. We talked to Terrell yesterday, Terrell Davis, and asked him about his running style. He makes one cut, and then he goes, watch this. One move to the outside, back inside, and he's running. And we asked him, have you changed in all this time? He just smiled and said, no.
Oh, that's right. He can't because he's not allowed to. The coaches out there, Alex Gibbs, the running, or the offensive line coaches, and kind of in charge of this running game. When you're running back for the Broncos, you're allowed just one cut, no more.
Timeout called by Kansas City. 3rd and 1 for Denver when we come back with 10 minutes and change remaining in a scoreless open half.
Isn't that a pretty sight?
So how many miles? 50?
90.
90?
90,000 miles. Shoot, that's just getting broke in for Chevy.
Is that a scratch?
Scratches give character.
The best long-term quality of any full-size pickup belongs to Chevy.
Women like character.
Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Whew, what'd you step in?
If you're offended by tasteless humor, Half-Baked is not for you.
I'm sorry!
But for the rest of us, it's the feel-good comedy of the year. Half-Baked, rated R. Starts Friday, January 16th.
Want to exercise your right to shop? Now is the best time to buy a treadmill at Sears. This space saver model with power incline is only $588.88. Yep, now is the best time to buy. Only at Sears. You're going to want to wear comfortable shoes.
Let's see. It says here you're lazy, highly unmotivated. You have a problem with authority.
Yeah, I've got 2 references that proves that.
Well, the only thing I can say is, you demand! You demand!
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Technically, I can't give you a raise yet.
You're right, policy, schmolicy.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Domino's Pizza, delivering 1 million smiles a day. Call for a hot pizza now, and you'll be smiling by halftime.
We invite you next weekend. Join NBC 3:30 Eastern on Saturday. A look back at 2 of the big stories in golf in '97. Davis loves PGA Championship victory and Europe's stunning win in the Ryder Cup. PGA of America year in review. And then at 4:30, you won't want to miss the PGA Tour Q School on the brink. Rare glimpse of nail-biting, sometimes heart-wrenching quest to join the PGA Tour. It starts at 3:30 next Saturday. 3rd and 1. Running right into a wall is Griffith. No gain, and Kansas City is held. Pelham McDaniels celebrating on 3rd and 1.
Well, 3rd and 1, the Kansas City defense watch the line of scrimmage. They win the battle up front. They said today we are going to attack, and so far in the first half, they have done that. That's the big reason why they're stopping the Broncos offense.
Tom Rowan to punt. Denver's rushing game, 12 carries, 23 yards, less than 2 yards per rush. Total contrast to last week. Rowan sends a wobbler out. Vanover lets it bounce and then takes it at the 50 and tackled at the 48. A flag is down. 40-yard punt, 2-yard return if illegal man downfield. Let's see if Kansas City wants Denver to punt it again. With this kind of field position, I don't know why you would want him to punt again. Because Rowan got a bad punt off. I mean, you've got excellent field position. You just take the ball. Greg Minuski, the special teams captain, hearing Jerry Markbright's options. And now Markbright coming to the sideline.
He's going to go ask Marty.
Yeah, right. And they can punt it again.
Well, ineligible man downfield, number 31, on the kick. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Derrick Lovell
The bell is up right in the middle. He's the up blocker, and he can't leave until the ball is kicked. You see the ball being dropped, he's already gone.
It gives yourself away when you're ahead of your teammates.
Well, I think the reason Marty must want him to repunt this ball because he has so much faith in his return man, Vanover.
They press those outside men of Denver, does Kansas City. Ruin. Oh, bad kick off the side of his foot to the 30-yard line. So a gain of 18 yards for Kansas City by making Ruin punt a second time. Only 25 yards for Ruin.
You know, there's only one thing a punter does when you're back in the end zone, and your job is to keep your eye on the ball and make the best kick you can. Look at Ruin. First of all, he's got the ball too close to his body. He had no extension at all. Thinking about, look at his arms. Look where the ball is. Up against his body when he hits it. The ball just goes off the side of his foot.
And Denver fortunate they didn't pick up a holding penalty in the end zone. That would have been a safety. So Kansas City's best field position in this scoreless game. Gerbach eludes the rush. Good runner. Breaks a tackle, slides with a first down at the 19. For Gerbach, who has 4.65 speed.
Well, this is a little different for Kansas City. Marcus Allen down at the bottom. Look, they just spread the field. That's what creates the hole for Elvis Gerbach to run in. And one thing that people forget about Elvis Gerbach, 6'5", he does run very well. Rich Gannon said to Paul Hackett, the offensive coordinator, after the first minicamp, he says, "What did you think about the minicamp?" Paul Hackett's asking Rich Gannon, he says, "Boy, Elvis throws the ball and runs the ball a lot better than I expected."
Marcus Allen hit by Neil Smith at the line of scrimmage, tried to spin away, and Alan Aldridge tackles him for a loss. In trying to make something out of the negative, Allen loses even more, 5 yards on the play. Paul Hackett, the offensive coordinator for Marty Schottenheimer's Chiefs, there he is. After the playoffs, he goes to Southern California, the university that is, as the head coach of the Trojans. Coached at Pittsburgh, University of Pittsburgh, prior to coming here to Kansas City. 2nd and 15 for Gerbach. Pressure up the middle, gets the throwaway complete. And it's Allen at the 18-yard line, tackled by Steve Atwater. Picked up the 5 they lost in the previous play, plus a couple.
Well, this is what Elvis Gerbach does so well, being a big, tall quarterback, and what he brings that Rich Gannon can't do. The blitz inside, nobody picks up Mobley, but Elvis Gerbach able to stand in there, and he can throw the ball down the field a lot easier than Rich Gannon can. That's one of the reasons why they had no doubt when the decision comes up, who's the quarterback? Marty Schottenheimer says, my job to get the best 11 on the field. Elvis Gerbach is one of those guys.
Perfect 7 for 7. Only 40 yards out of those 7 completions. Reed pumps and throws it away. There's no doubt about his intent there. Nothing about the 10th row.
The other thing about Elvis Gerbach, what I really liked was in the interview with him when he said, who should Marty start? He said, me. I mean, he has the confidence. He knows he is the starting quarterback. There is absolutely no quarterback controversy in Kansas City. None.
Paul, that's right. You come around, you spend a couple days. If there was a controversy, you'd know one of the players or coach would go, I think we should be going with the other guy. They do that. We did not hear that one single time.
Not even from the players.
34-yard field goal attempt by Stoyanovich. And he drills it. And Kansas City takes the lead, but a flag comes down. And Denver signaling we were held. And that is the call of Jerry Markwright.
Holding number 51, offense. 10-yard penalty, 4th down.
Greg Minuski, the special teams captain, guilty of the foul.
Here's Minuski. Now his job is to inside first and then go back outside. But you know, that is not holding. That is a terrible call.
So now a 44-yard attempt by Stoyanovich, who was the hero in this direction. 54 yards to win that crucial game a month and a half ago. He's got plenty of leg.